News. I'm Michaela Wingate.
And I'm Michaela Horn. Today, in today's stories, a new crime wave is sweeping the country in a form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We help them find it. And the latest in all around news in the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more upside down and topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside-down house. Before you think they have written the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The wacky object was built as a tourist attraction, as well as being a comment of the state of the world. The house is 23 feet tall and rests on the point of its roof, and has steel beams in the attic. Inside the house, there are beds screwed into the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes, and upside-down kitchen, and even an upturned bathroom, though it is not known if anyone has tried to have a bath in it or go to the toilet. Normally, a house like this would take about 3 weeks to build. This one took workers over 4 months because they kept getting disorientated by the strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complained of feeling dizzy and sick after just a few minutes inside. We now cross over to our reporter Mahi, who is inside the house. How are you feeling, Mahi?
Thanks, Michaela. I'm here with the owner of the house, Adam, and I'm feeling good. I'm here with the owner of the house, Adam, and I'm feeling good. So what made you decide to build an upside-down house?
I wanted to try a new and unique idea. It was a lot of hard work, but it was worth it.
What comment do you feel that the house states on the world?
Most houses are not eco-friendly, but my house helps the environment in many ways that I cannot explain.
What are some challenges living in a house where everything is upside down?
It's hard waking up every morning and finding that your house is upside down.
In your opinion, how long did it take you to build this house?
It took around about 3.5 years.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Mahi for ONTV News. Back into the studio with Michaela. Kayla.
Thanks, Mahi. Even watching that makes me feel like vomiting. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak, which can hide objects by bending light waves. It has been found that light can be controlled using special tiny crystals that make objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects such as coins disappear, but hope it won't be long before they are hiding cars, planes, and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible, one top scientist says. The possibilities are endless and we are all very excited. However, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been having trouble finding it. As soon as we put it down somewhere, it just disappears, the inventor of the cloak said. It appears they are having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. What will this invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak, here's our spot reporter Sarah with more on this story.
Hello, I'm Sarah, and here with me is Julian and Rotorua, the scientists behind the invisibility cloak. Hi, and thanks for joining us today. What made you want to invent an invisibility cloak?
Well, I wanted to build an invisibility cloak for evil purposes, such as robbing a bank and killing people.
Yes, we wanted to invent an invisibility cloak to rob banks and kill people, and we're eviler than Lord Voldemort. Evil laugh.
Can you show me how the invisibility cloak works?
Sure.
And what do you hope the cloak will be used for?
Evil. 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 And more evil.
And how long did it take you to make the cloak?
I don't know, you should ask Julian. 3 to 4 years.
Well, that makes things very clear, and we're out of time. Back to you, Michaeli, in the studio.
Thanks, Sarah. And now how's this for an interesting yarn? A new wave of graffiti crime is sweeping the country, thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wool-waving criminals are covering tree branches and lampposts with small knitted jerseys and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police say the knitted activities of the gang legal because of the woolly crimes are being done to public property without permission. The popularity of woolen graffiti is growing, and more public objects are being wrapped up every night. But the problem is growing. Police say and warn that if Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree, lamppost, traffic light in the country will be dressed up warm against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. There are a close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We are stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There is no real pattern to the crimes, a police spokesman said today. So far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull the wool over the eyes of both public and police. Now we go over to our secret location with our investigator reporter Estian, who has an exclusive interview with 2 of the Midnight Knitters gang.
Thanks, Michaeli. I'm Estian, and joining me here in this top secret location are Amber and Matangi from the notorious Midnight Knitters gang. Thank you for joining us. Amber, what made you join the dark underworld gang?
Yo, when I was a child, I was abandoned, so I joined the knitter gang.
Matangi, do you think you're seriously a criminal?
Me? Criminal? No. No, because I like the colours of the city. It's just a hobby, Hobby.
Amber, apart from trees, lampposts and traffic lights, what else do you do with your woolen?
Well, we've thought about using animals, vehicles, the possibilities endless, Nyoji.
Matangi, what colours would you recommend?
Hot fuchsia pink, the colour of the gang.
Thank you, Amber and Matangi, members of the Midnight Knitters gang. And now over to Tamihana with the latest weather updates.
Thank you, Estian, and good evening, New Zealand. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather. Starting in the far north in Kaitoia, look out for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. Moving down to Auckland, there'll be a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions. But those are the conditions and you'll just have to accept them. There will be no weather at all for the Bay of Plenty. It's taking a short holiday but is expected to be back for the weekend. In Napier and Hastings, the weather will sometimes be changeable and sometimes not. We have really no idea what will happen there. In the Taranaki, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day with no highlights at all. It will be overcast and gloomy all morning, but things should cheer up by the evening, so don't worry, everything will be fine.
Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no winds all day, and the day conditions will be so pleasant they'll actually be extreme. And the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can expect to have a good day meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim and reading the newspapers, but try to stay indoors as the weather will be just terrible. A real mix for Christchurch, which will have some unreasonable rainfalls, sensible wind, moderate thunderstorms and some very angry snow. And in the lower south, Dunedin will be frosty, cold and unfriendly until late morning. We never when the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun. That's all from us. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Good night, New Zealand. It's back to the news desk with Michaeli and Michaela.
Thanks, Bradley and Tamihana. Well, that's all we have time for. We hope you have enjoyed this evening's broadcast.
Thank you all for watching. We'll see you again next time.
Until then, I'm Michaeli Wingate.
And I'm Michaela Horn from the Jackson 5 News. Goodbye, e nohora.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1, take 2. Take 2.